Okie. So here we go. I'm going to go over and do a quick video on some of the questions. It's almost a year later. I decided I better make a video on some of the questions that were asked in my last setting up your Types.xml and CFG spawnable types. So once again, we're using FileZilla, of course, because that's just what we do. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to go through the list of questions that were asked, and let's go back over a couple of things. Okay, so, and again, this is a straight vanilla server. There's nothing except for some adjustments in the types to make any difference here to what you've got on your server. So let's look at it real quick. So the first question comes in from a person named SpookyG. SpookyG says you did not show how to add it, and so what I'm assuming you're referring to is your types.xml and CFG spawnable types. So your types.xml for your missions is always going to be either in your Livonia, which is actually Enoch, and or your Chernarus Plus, and they will always be in the same spot. They're not going to change depending on the map type. They will be in the main folder. As you can see here, there's my main folder. You go down and you have MP missions, which is multiplayer missions, Daisy, Offline, Chernarus Plus, and then you go into your DB, which is your database folders, and here's your types.xml. So again, let's go over that real quick. I'm going to make this a little bigger. So again, we're going into the folder for the main folder for the server itself. Then you're going to go into the MP missions folder. You're going to go into the Chernarus Plus folder, or again, if you're using Enoch, which is Livonia, you'll go in there and you'll go into the database area, and in here you will add your types.xml. Now your CFG spawnable types will be in the root folder of the server itself. So you want to go back to MP missions, then go to Chernarus Plus, and if you look in here, somewhere in here, there it is, CFG spawnable types.xml. It will always go in those two spots. If you've put it anywhere else, you're doing it wrong and it's not going to load. So let's see. Now, Martian Lives Matter asks, do I have to move all the new type and spawnable XMLs into the MP missions folder, or does the game read them directly from the @mods folder, or do I copy paste from the new modded type XML to the economy types XML? So what he's asking is, when he modifies a types.xml and he modifies it with the items that are coming off of mods. So let's say if I had a mod that adds a gun to the map, I would then go to the mod itself, which will show up here. I don't have any mods on the server again, it's all fresh, so it'll show up here. And you go into that folder, and inside that folder you're going to find a types.xml. What you basically want to do is, so let's say this is the types.xml of another map. I want to go in here and I would go to ACOG Optic. We would copy this, and then I would close this file, and we would go to the types.xml, and we would add ACOG Optic in here by Control and V. This would add ACOG Optic to this file. Now, if this is the main types.xml off your folder, off your server, then this is now reading the item that you have from your mod. No item from your mod is going to appear automatically into your server. You have to add every single item from the mod itself that you want on your server to your types.xml for the folder. And when I say types.xml, I mean I mean this folder, this file right here. No matter if anything you add to the server has to be added here. Period. Anything new, be it food, clothes, cars, helicopters, anything, anything has to be added to this file, or it will not show up in the spawns. Now, if you don't ask me how to do traders, I'm sorry, I don't use traders on my servers because I think, truthfully, traders are kind of pointless. And I mean, I get it, some people like them, but I personally do not. So I don't mess with traders at all. I don't have any kind of input for you on that. But if you're adding weapons, clothing, cars, anything to your spawns, you will have to add it to this file here, or it's not going to show up. It's just like, as you can see here, I have AK-101 green. This is already in the files for the server. However, if I didn't add this line, they won't spawn on the appropriate spawn locations. So you can see this is going to spawn military tier 4. Without this in here, it would not spawn. So you do this with every single item. Again, I know I'm repeating that over and over and over again, but I want you guys to be very aware. This also goes for your CFG spawnable types and to your CFG okay, so let's go back to the CFG spawnable types. Now, let's say you have a file. Actually, I think this one has, no, it does not. Hold on, let me see if I have one. I believe I do. I believe I have one that is from an old mod. No, it's been adjusted. Dadgummit. Welp. Let's see. I keep a lot of my types. Mainly, I keep a lot of my types. As you can see here, MS. Oh, that's good. MSFC. So let's go to the MSFC ATAX AU. Now this is all the items that you're going to have in regards to ATAX AU. If you had this mod on your server, the MSFC uniforms, you would have to add these items to your map and the spawn table, or they won't add. So let's say I wanted to add the MSFC Alice bag ATAX AU. So I would copy this, which is again Control C. We've copied that. Now, this is my personal choice, and again, you don't have to do it, but what I like doing is I come down here and I go dash dash dash, and I put in MSFC, and I put dash dash dash, and then we go enter again, and we paste that item. Now, what I've just did is I've made a separator between this and the vanilla files. What this will do is, if I want to get rid of the file or the mod itself, I can easily go back into my folder and delete this. Now, mind you, I've also made the mistake of putting the wrong file in the wrong location, but that's easy. I'll just boop boop fixed. So I think I went over this in my last mod. We'll quickly reiterate what the CFG spawnable types does. So CFG spawnable types determines what items will spawn in equipment when you wow, I just noticed that. Wow. Okay, I just had an epiphany. Apparently bears don't have, okay, I'm getting off track, I'm sorry. So you'll notice here that, let's say Gorka. As you can see, Gorka Pants Summer have a mixed army cargo preset. That's new. Wonder what that does. Well, let's take a look real quick. So in your that's in your spawnable types. So what we want is to look at our random presets area. Our random presets are, okay, so if spawnable types is what category you want to pull out of to spawn items into a Gorka shirt, presets actually defines what that what is in that category. So let's say, let's go back to Gorka Pants. Gorka Pants Summer says cargo presets mix army. Okay, easy enough. Let's go down here and search for mix army. So now you see we have mix army. Mix army has all this stuff in here, and you can also see it's also defined by the amount that will spawn in it. Cool, huh? So I can add this cargo preset to anything if I wanted to. I can add it to zombies. I can add it to teddy bears. I can add it to cars and cargoes of cars when they spawn in. This could all be in there. And what this does is it gives you a chance when you like kill a zombie that this is what's going to spawn on that zombie. There's a chance, as you can see, there's a 0.05 and a 0.1 chance that this is what you're going to get. So that's why you get, when you kill an infected, that's why you get certain items. Ta-da! There you go. And I went off tangent a little bit there, but there you go. That's how that actually works. How do I set up percentages from Nick Tretiakov? I'm sorry if I have mispronounced that. Nick Tretiakov asks, hi, great video. How do I set up percentages of ammo spawned in magazines? Instead of always having full magazines, I'd like to spawn with 20 to 30% full ammo. Okay, that's actually pretty easy. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the database, and we're going to go to the types. We're going to open it, of course. We're going to view edit it. We're going to get rid of all this other stuff. So what we want to do is we want to look up 30 round, 30, oops, 30. Okay, well, we want to find Stanag actually. Was that B? Yep, there we go, Mag Stanag. Okay, so Mag Stanag 30 round. So let's focus on this. His question was, how do you adjust it? How do I set up percentages of ammo spawned in magazines instead of it always being 100%? Now, that's an easy fix. So what we're doing is we're going to go to every single magazine that we've got. Now, of course, if you remember through the original video, I said nominal is how many of them are going to spawn on the map. Lifetime is how long that item will stay if you drop it somewhere. Restock, and min, restock is the time it takes for a restock to happen. Minimum is what is the minimum before this item needs to be replenished on the map. Now you come to things like mag standard 30s, quant min, and quant max. This is what determines what your percentage of the item in question spawns ammo. So this is literally a percentage value. So you can set it to whatever you want. Now, if you see one that says quant min 0, quant max 0, that means that the magazines are going to spawn empty. However, if you see one that says, or is it? Let's see. Hold on. I think I'm right. Yeah, 10, 100 SVD 10 round. So if you quant 0, min max it's going to spawn empty. However, if you quant min, quant max, and you have 10 and 100 like the SVD rounds here, SVD mag, this will just say, okay, so it's either going to spawn with 10% of a magazine or it's going to spawn with 100% of a magazine. This goes for all your magazines. Mag standard 60 round, mag standard 30 round. Now, this also spawns, you can also do this with magazines spawning on a gun. And what it'll do is, and don't quote me here, this is me speculating, but I'm thinking that when you pull a mag standard 30 round and it attaches to a gun that you've got in your attachments, which again, we'll go back over what that does, that is in your CFG spawnable types. we'll go up here, we'll go to that, and we'll go to discard local. And we're going to look up M16. Now the M16A4, as you can see, has a chance, a 30%, a 0.30 chance of spawning with a magazine of these 4 types. Now, when it pulls from that, it's going to say item CMAG that, and it's going to say, okay, well, item CMAG is this mag standard 30 round magazine. It's going to say, okay, well, this item, when it spawns in on that thing, has a chance to spawn with 5% of a magazine full or 50% of a magazine full. So this is how you determine how many of the rounds are going to be in a magazine that you see dropped on the floor. Now, mind you, this also works for things like purification tabs. Let's look up tabs. And okay, so charcoal tab. Charcoal tablets do the exact same thing. You can have them spawn with 10 or 50. Let's look at cereal. Cereal, same thing. You can have a box of cereal crunching spawned with 10% full or 100% full. Any item that you have, I think except for like fruits and vegetables, um, I believe, because they'll most always spawn with 100%. Any item that you've got that is not opened or that is not closed, so that includes cans, drink, soda cans, any kind of food cans, things like Pajka or any of the Coke or Pepsi or any of that. If it spawns to where it has an amount to it, then it will use this to determine how much of it is available when you find it. And this works for all the spawns. Now, things such as meat, meat, and opening cans with things like a crowbar or a can opener have a predetermined set amount in the files of how much that item is going to give you in return. So I don't know if there's a way I can adjust that. I personally have never delved into that. So you don't have to really, there's nothing I can do to kind of, my alarm's going off. There's nothing you can do to really adjust that to the best of my knowledge. I'm sure someone out there has a way to do it, but I certainly do not. Let's move on to the next one. And the next one was just a question about modding. I think that's going to be it. That looks like it. Again, if you have any questions at all on how stuff works, and if you have any questions at all that I can answer, feel free to comment below. I am more than willing. I mean, it takes me a while, but I am more than willing to help out any way I can to get you guys up and running when it comes to Daisy. I love modding, love working on servers. I love excuse me, I love working on my servers, and I'm more than willing to teach people how to do it themselves. So thanks for tuning in. I'll upload this immediately, and I hope you guys are having a great day. Peace.